welcome to a Foreigner Farming in the Philippines. So in the 2 months or so that I've had the females in this, the pregnant females in this enclosure with their own tanks, I have raised 0 craylings. The eggs hatch, and I remove the mothers, and then the craylings die. I think it's too hot in here for them. The water temperature gets too hot because this is, you know, fairly close to the ceiling, and they're right close to the walls here. And this doesn't have a lot of overlapping shade, so it just gets too hot. And I'm not going to move them back into the house. And so I'm going to stop proactively breeding the craylings. All these females here, whether they've hatched their eggs or not, it doesn't really matter, since if they do hatch them, they'll die. They're all going into the round tank today. And the pregnant females that are in the tank in the back there, they're also going. The only crayfish that are going to stay in the old tilapia tanks are the juveniles that are growing out. And should I find any juveniles here, I don't think I will, they'll go in that tank up top as well. Now there are some, so I can get this to focus, there are a few craylings in this. One right at the bottom there, you can see on the right hand side, one in the center there. So what I'm going to do with these is put them right here. And any others that I find are going to go in here as well. Make sure we've got them all, as far as I can tell. Okay, so I moved the 5 pregnant females out of this one and just moved them into the round tank with their habitats. I'm going to make a bunch more smaller habitats for craylings. They're just going to have to sink or swim in there. They've got a large area, they've got plenty of places to escape. These here will continue to grow out. This is full of craylings from those tiny 1/4 inchers that I just put in there up to 1 inch. Hundreds in here, hundreds. And still have the breeders in that tank right there. So look, the reason that I'm doing this, changing things around here, is that I need that aeration compressor that I was using for those pregnant females, the pregnant female crayfish. I need that air. I need that aeration. Worse than I need craylings to hatch, because these fish, the large tilapia that we have in these tanks, aren't really eating much because the oxygen level in the water is too low. It just makes them lethargic and they're not hungry. And I need the aeration, so I'm going to run the lines from that larger compressor. Not only puts out more air than the others, but it puts it out at a slightly higher pressure. So I'm going to run those lines back here to these back 4 tanks, and so that I can fill these tanks, so kind of dual purpose, so that not only can I aerate these tanks, but they'll have a large amount of water in them, 2.5 feet deep, and it's just going to be that's going to be the circulation. I've hooked this up here. This drain didn't have any cement, so I just packed it full of mud that'll last for a while, and drain in there. And so I've got our quote-unquote irrigation pump, pumping that out. That's what Charlie's playing with up there. So that's going to be the circulation. I'm going to I'm only going to run this small pump at night. Don't need both of them running in the day. So just filling these tanks up now is going to be the challenge. But I'm trying to have enough habitat not only to grow these tilapia that are up here in these tanks, but for more, because there's probably 4 or 5 times more tilapia of this size still in the pond, and it's not going to do any good to catch them if there's no place to put them until we can save up enough for a couple boxes to sell. That's why we've got to get this done. So tomorrow we've got to go in and get about, I don't know, at least, I don't know, we need 20 meters of that line right there, the aeration line. You can see that's one of the long aerators. This is one of the short ones here. This is one of the 6-inch. That's a 12-inch there, and the other 2 that are in there are 6-inch. And they're being powered by one of the old aeration compressors. And you can see there's just a few little bubbles coming out there. And when this tank gets all the way full, almost nothing. Whereas that one will still be putting out a good bit of aeration, because that large pump operates at a slightly higher air pressure. And so even if the water's a bit deeper, it'll still put out a good flow of air. So I've got to, there's still 3 vacant in that manifold right there. There's still 3 vacant feeds coming out of that manifold that I've got blocked off, and we'll get some more aeration line tomorrow, and I'll be able to put a stone in this tank and in this tank and in this tank, so that all 4 of these back here will have good aeration, because we're going to start catching more fish tomorrow. And you know, the aeration in this tank will be almost non-existent by the time it gets full and it starts draining out. There's just no avoiding it for tonight. I'll keep the I'll put on the circulation pump, so at least it'll have some it'll be drawing out the low oxygen water, and higher oxygen content water will be coming in. It's coming in right there through this tank. That's the best I can do for tonight. I don't think we'll lose any fish, but it's not optimum. But I have to, because it's a slow process. I mean, I've been running the pump all day, and it only runs for like 5 or 10 minutes, and then it shuts off for an hour, and then runs another 5 or 10 minutes because the water level is still, the water table is still low. So I can't wait another day. I have to, and I still am not sure if I will be able to get these tanks filled up by the time the sun goes down, because I'm not going to pump water with Cohico. I'll only do it through solar, and we've got about another hour here. Now those tanks up there have a lot of excess water in them that's flowing into these. I don't know, it's a toss of the coin, but we'll get there. So tomorrow, more line and more fish. We can put this tank here is pretty much we could probably put a few more in it, but it's close to its capacity. We could probably put 30 or 40 fish in this one, you know, of this size, and could probably put another couple dozen in that one. This box here is pretty much full. You can't really put any more in this one, even with more aeration. There's a lot of fish in this box. So we could probably catch a box of fish to go along with what we've already got. We'll be pretty close to the 2 boxes of sellable fish, so we shall see. Tomorrow's another day. Thank you, everyone. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. I want to make it clear just exactly what's going to be going on moving forward. So I've turned off our little our pump that we do the watering with, because I was drawing water out of the round tank, the crayfish tank, but it's down to like 6 inches deep, and I can't pull any more out of it because it was being pumped directly into these to get these filled up. So during the day, when we have the excess capacity with the solar, that pump will be on, and it'll be pumped into the first tank, and of course it'll meander through. It'll do its serpentine, and it will drain out this tank and back into the crayfish tank. And at night, just this small aeration pump right here will be running, and it also will go into that first tank. So during the day we'll have water exchange with the crayfish tank, and at night all these tilapia tanks will have water exchange. So water exchange 24/7. So that even if there isn't optimal aeration in each individual tank, at least the water is moving and it's being circulated, so that the tanks that have excess aeration, like those first 2 up there, that highly oxygenated water will find its way into these other tanks. This one has that one large stone being run by its own compressor, and this has 3 of those 12-inch stones in it being run by that big compressor right there. So these first 2 tanks are highly oxygenated, and that water will, make it around and through the rest of the tanks, and that's how we're going to do it. Thank you, everyone. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe.